Hello, everybody. I'm James Kuhl. I'm the producing artistic director here at Tipping Point, and we are continuing our series of talks with artists as we talk about creativity and art and the things that have been happening during the shutdown quarantine and how all of us are continuing to find ways to express ourselves throughout this time. So today I have with me Eric Gutman. Eric Gutman, for our Tipping Point audiences, will remember him from Ordinary Days. But those of you that know Eric, you also know that he was in Jersey Boys on Broadway. He has performed at the Detroit Public, his one-man show from Broadway to Obscurity, as well as there was something about a murder. What was that one, Eric?
Murder Ballad.
Murder Ballad.
Murder Ballad, yes.
But you've also done Hedwig and the Angry Inch, was it 3 times now?
Yeah, so right before the pandemic, we closed it in February, the last weekend in February. Yeah, I was music directing and playing guitar and keys for Hedwig and the Angry Inch with Detroit Public Theater. That was my second time music directing. My first time music directing was, I think, 6 or 7 years ago with the Ringwald Theater. Yep. With their production. And then time before that was with a theater company called Breathe Art Theater Project, which disbanded years ago, that Courtney Burkett was one of the founders of, she's now with Detroit Public. That was a cross-border theater company. So we would produce with all American and Canadian artists, musicians, designers, and we would do half the shows in Detroit and half of them in Windsor. And that was my first time playing the show. I just played bass and acoustic guitar for that. But yeah, Hedwig is, I love that show so much. I would just music direct and play that all the livelong day if I could.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful show. I remember Breathe Art. I saw shows of theirs when they were in doing the downtown,
15 Broadway.
Yeah. It was the furniture factory, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was. I know it was right across the street from the Detroit Opera House.
Okay.
And that space was just a mess. It was so DIY theater. Like it was the epitome of DIY theater. Like, can we find some chairs for the patrons type of thing?
And if not, we have this box, or we have our acting cubes that we can.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And that's how we kind of did it. That was a nice experience though. Yeah.
So for you then, that's the kind of the full spectrum where you have the do-it-yourself, sit on the crates theater, but also all the way to Broadway with Jersey Boys.
Yeah. It's been now, I think, let's see, my daughter is 9. So we moved right before. Yeah, it's been 10 years since I performed in that show. It feels like it was just yesterday. I couldn't sing any of the harmonies or tell you any of the lines anymore. But, 1,200 shows, 3 years of my life. They did the Jersey Boys companies from all over the world. So not just Broadway, but the original La Jolla cast, Chicago, London, Netherlands, some of the cruise ship, the off-Broadway cast now. About a month ago, we put together one of those, all the casts now are doing our quarantine Zoom call song. And it was amazing. I think there were over 110 different performers that have been in the show. And we all sang Who Loves You? And they edited it all together. I don't know how the heck they did that. That was a lot of work, but it was beautiful. It really touched me to see so many familiar faces, and there were a few Jersey Boys alum who have passed over the last 10 or 13 years, and they put their headshots in there too while the rest of us are singing, and that was very touching. Just to kind of go back to the saying with Jersey Boys is family is everything, and to see their faces, those that we've lost, it was really special to have that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I have to say that it on the flip side of that, it might be the Guinness Book of World Records for the most falsettos in one at one time.
I think you're probably right. I think you're right. there were dogs howling across the country
Right.
as we hit that last note.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on? Speaking of dogs, okay, so you got a quarantine puppy, is that right?
We got a pandemic puppy. We got he's a pug beagle mix. But he's also something else. We're not sure what he is. We have currently a 14-and-a-half-year-old puggle. His name is Toby, and he's an old man, and he just, he's over it. He's just over all of it. And we've been kind of looking for another dog, now that the kids don't have camp and I'm not touring. It's just like, well, we're all home. We can take care of this puppy. And we got the puppy 2 weeks ago. My other dog is pissed off.
Grumpy old man.
Oh my God, he's so angry, James. He's so angry. And this puppy is the sweetest thing in the world, but I am so exhausted. I have just not slept in 2 weeks. It's just, we're crate training it, and it's like every 2 to 2.5 hours, it's up scratching at the crate, and we take it out, and last night was a rough one, but he's cute.
Is he cute? That's his major defense right now. Is that he's cute.
That's all he's got.
Now, there's another. I mean, you do so many things, Eric. Because there's also Under the Streetlamp. Is that?
Yep.
Yep. Where?
Under the Streetlamp. Yeah. So that's a touring show. There's four singers. We're all old Broadway guys. 2 of us did Jersey Boys together in Chicago. The other 2 guys have done, I don't know, a handful of 6, 7, 8 Broadway shows. Their thing is their Broadway debut 1,000 years ago was in a Beach Boys musical called Good Vibrations. So between the Jersey Boys and Good Vibrations, we have the 50s and 60s covered. But Under the Streetlamp's been touring for 10 years. I've been with them for a little over 3. But, every show in March and April and May and June got canceled or postponed. We had a show in July that got canceled or postponed. We have a show. Our next show is supposed to be October 3rd in Atlantic City, but I'm really not holding my breath.
Yeah, it's it's this bizarre. It's bizarre that it's a plan for everything and then wait to see what it is that you can do. So it's like we're working twice and 3 times as hard because, well, if this is the go, we have to be ready to go at this point so we can jump on that treadmill to start to try and generate business again.
We had a call yesterday. With our agent, and we have to figure out contingency plans now because there's venues across the country, they're hurting a lot as from small to big, and venues aren't going to be paying their typical guarantees probably, and so we need to figure out as an organization, okay, well, what's the bottom line that can get us out of the house, and do we tour with a track, or do we tour with just a piano player? Do we tour with just our rhythm, our rhythm section? Can we bring all 3 horns? I mean, it's we literally have to figure out, I think, like 5 or 6 different scenarios of how we can continue to tour moving forward.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that we're really looking at is the safety and comfort level of 3 different groups and how that Venn diagram goes together. But you have to look out for the safety and the comfort level of the performers, of the staff and the administration, and of the patrons, and the interaction of that together. Because even as performers, I mean, what we do and the way that we express ourselves is some vulnerable stuff, and you have to feel comfortable and safe in a place to do that, as well as that we train to do. And if you don't feel comfortable because the audience is sitting right on top of you and sitting on top of each other, and that's where you're going to be. You're going to be like, oh man, those people don't know each other. They're not wearing masks and they totally touched arms. Right. Instead of being in that emotional place.
I think of Tipping Point, in that regard, in the fact that you guys are such an intimate space. I mean, I remember doing Ordinary Days, and you're literally 2-3 feet from the audience member sitting in the front row. Yeah. And I can't imagine the juggling act that you and so many theaters similar to you are doing right now. It's bad enough being a singer and a performer and thinking, you know, like I have to sing with 3 other guys and typically a 7-piece band. Like, am I going to have to space out the band? Am I going to be able to do, like, can we do duets? Like, I have no idea what we're supposed to do anymore. There's just,
and then the pure physics of the trajectory of droplets out of horns. And like, I mean, we're trained to project and support, and, you know, we got some powerful droplets. You know, like Derek, we haven't even gotten into the main reason why I wanted to talk to you today.
We just got to the depressing things. Oh,
yeah, I know. Okay, so
let's switch gears. Let's talk.
Switch gears completely, because when all of this started, one of the things that you started doing was to do quarantine sessions where you sing or put together a song, and that you put out there, and you put it out there and say, like, I'm an artist, I need to create, here it is, please support me, and then, you know, providing information on it. So I'd love to know, what was it that finally, you know, what got that burr, and like, you know, like, now I have to do this?
You know, I think there's going to be a lot of performers, whoever might be watching this, I think there's a lot of other performers that are going to understand where I'm coming from. On March 12th, we went into shelter in place, and it affected my livelihood within literally the snap of a finger. I can't perform in public anymore. I own a ticketing company. I sell tickets to concerts, sports, and theater. That's all gone. So like that, all of my income was gone. All of my livelihood was gone. And for almost 2 weeks, I walked around my house. You know, I'm trying to do the homeschooling for my kids, which was just insanely difficult. And I got really depressed. I'm not typically a very sad person. I think I'm pretty damn upbeat, but I really hit a point where it was hard to do anything. And I just felt like I was on autopilot. You get up, you feed the kids, you start homeschooling, you make lunch, you continue homeschooling. Like, there was no light at the end of the tunnel. My kids, my wife were healthy. My family was healthy. Thank goodness. But other than that, what do I do? I mean, I've been performing professionally, I don't know, 20, 22 years, something like that. And one day I said to my wife, I said, I'm just so sad. I just want to, like, play some music. And she said, well, go play some music. And I locked myself in my office/music room. And the first song I did was You'll Never Walk Alone from Carousel. It's me and my acoustic guitar. I am not a huge fan of that show, but for whatever reason, I heard that song somewhere and I wanted to play it. And I played it and I put it out on social media. And I got a lot of kindness, a lot of people that listened, you know, and it was a couple hundred people, you know, and that's wonderful that people would spend 2.5 minutes of their day to listen to me sing a song. And it was like a pinhole crack in the darkness where a little bit of light seeped through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I absolutely understand.
It just kind of hit me in the face. And I was like, okay, that's what that feels like. And so I started doing more songs. I was doing up to 6 a week for like a month. And it slowed down a bit because of life, you know? And I was putting undue pressure on myself. I was saying to myself, you got to do 5 a week, got to do 5 a week. It's like, but you don't though. It's just, you just do what you got to do for yourself. And it was great. And I found some weird songs that I made different arrangements for, songs that are crazy fast that I made acoustic. I collaborated with some other artists, not just here in Michigan. My best friend is a drummer in North Carolina. I was in a band with him in high school and college. He laid down a drum track and we did a song together. I actually have another one that I'm going to be posting in a few days that he did. With Lily Talevsky, who played Yitzhak in our last Hedwig at Detroit Public. She's a New York artist. She and I did a song from Once together in our separate homes. Molly Gibson, who's an actress here in the area, she and I did this beautiful song, which for whatever reason just got a ton of notoriety. I guess it was just a song that people wanted to hear. So, and I'm reaching out to people. A friend of mine in Vegas who is the longest running Frankie Valli and Jersey Boys, he and I are working on a U2 mashup right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm just pouring it out as much as I can. And last night I posted my 50th song.
Yes.
Which is crazy that I've done 50 of these. So
there's so much in there. There's so much in there, Eric, just to kind of break it down just a little bit, but there's that habitual track that we put ourselves on as artists to create, and the way that the system is set up for us, the hustle of it, that it's almost ingrained to us that it's like go, perform, create, sleep, perform, create, in that where you end up getting that drive that you have to do it. Because it was a similar experience for me too, like with, especially here at Tipping Point, where we are dependent on keeping a tight schedule. The day that we close a show, the next day we literally rip everything off and probably are beginning the rehearsal of the next process that night, that unending sort of treadmill. And to come to that place of that pressure to to put those things out and then go like, you want to know what? The muse, we have space in here that we don't need to create with the proverbial gun to our head that need. And so the quality of it, or the things that start to blossom from it, is really quite lovely.
I like that what you said with the idea of a muse, you know what I mean? And that's what it was for me. After a while, I felt like I was pushing out the songs because I felt it was my duty to, as opposed to it was my privilege to. So that's when I kind of set myself back and I said, you know what? If I take 3 days between songs, or 4 days, or a week between songs, that's okay. Yeah. Let's do it the right way, because I want to do something that is going to not just move me, which is how this started. I want to move somebody else in some way. If it's just one person that finds something in a song that I sang and it does something for them, then I've done my job, Yeah.
I want to talk about, because it's really a brilliant sort of evolution. I haven't caught on all 50, but whenever it pops up, I tend to listen with it. But there became and it probably was about that time where he went from the evolution of doing it every single night into when things struck you. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've been since I've been watching the evolution of the quality, not just of the songs, but of the recordings and the complexity that comes in then when other people started to do them with you into creative new ways to do it, has been it's been a beautiful journey of an artist getting much better at a new skill set. For things. And so I'm wondering, if you have felt that as the journey, and how that bar is sort of, I don't want to say raising, because it's not an expectation that you're trying to top yourself, right, but the sophistication of some of these things is really getting quite wonderful.
Thank you. You know what it was for me? It was not about necessarily, look, there are some songs that I've done over the last 50 that are very true to the originals. And I've done them because it's a song that means something very much to me. Nothing jumps off the top of my head right now. No, there was actually on May 19th, I believe. That was the anniversary of Chris Cornell's death, his 3-year anniversary. And I am a huge Chris Cornell fan, and there's a song that he did called Sun Shower, which I've loved forever and ever, and it's such a hard song to play, let alone his voice, which is insane. So I wanted to take 4 or 5 days and get it down properly to pay tribute to that. You know what I mean? So a song like that was in its true form. But what I've really been enjoying is kind of mashing up and doing weird medleys. I was really proud when the Black Lives Matter protests started. It was difficult for me. I took that week off because I didn't think that the communities that were hurting so much needed to hear, quite honestly, from a privileged white guy with a really nice acoustic guitar. It was tone deaf. And I wanted to take that time to educate myself a little bit and talk to my kids a lot about what was going on. And I came back and I felt, well, I have a voice and it's just mine, but I can be an ally. And I did a mashup of Crosby, Still, Nash & Young, Ohio, along with U2's Sunday Bloody Sunday as a protest song.
I haven't seen that one. I'm going to have to look it up now.
I was very proud of how that came along and the way that it was very simple, but it was just a way that I could lend my voice, you know what I mean? And show some solidarity as an ally. So I'm just trying to find ways to create something new and exciting. And if that means that, I give it a few days and it's just not me and my acoustic because I'm doing long video edits like this 50th one that I just put out today, which has a whole bunch of terrible language in it. Or another collaboration I have again with my best friend from North Carolina. There's a lot of video edits with that. Like, I would rather just keep focusing on that and putting out some really interesting work. And if I find a song that I want to do just with my acoustic, that's okay too. I'm going to let this journey kind of present itself to me.
There's another journey that has happened here over the course that if people that haven't followed, or when they sit down and watch all 50 or as many as that you want to binge watch here.
I'm like Netflix now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, totally. But there's an evolution that happens with your facial hair and your that has been quite enjoyable as well as you go from the beginning of quarantine into some sort of shaggy beast man of sorts.
I have to send you a picture so you can embed it in this edit somehow. Yeah, my hair was the biggest it's ever been. And I grew I'm beard-ish right now, but I had a full beard and my hair was literally out to here. I kind of miss it. Is that weird?
I will say that is weird. No.
Yeah. Oh man, it was like that first day that I could get a haircut was pretty amazing. I walked into the barbershop that I've been going to for 11 years. I walked in, I had a mask on and I had my headband and the big hair and, and they're like, "Can we help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have a 3:00 with Dave." They're like, "Eric?" And Dave looks over, he goes, "No way." So, yeah.
And I think actually this has been one of my favorites, and I think that it came at that time where it felt like you had grown things out to a capacity here, and you actually spliced yourself together where there was a 3-person it's a trio of yous with different haircuts that happen. I am not very musically gifted with remembering things. What was that song?
That was a song from Alice in Chains called "Don't Follow." And yeah, I took a camera and I mounted it on my wall so it wouldn't move, and I recorded me with the crazy hair and the beard as the guitarist, and then I went to the bathroom real quick. I shaved it just into these big chops.
Mutton chops. Oh, those are some nasty mutton chops.
And then I played the bass player, and then I did a full shave. I put a ton of product in my hair because I still had the big hair at that point. and then I was the lead singer, and I was able to merge all three together. So they played together with 2-part harmony, and that was a fun one. That was a really
that was
fun
good. Yeah, I like that one quite a bit.
Thank
so with all of this, now would be a great time. Where can people go to binge watch
Yes.
these?
So all of these, every single one of these has been posted on my Instagram, which is The Gooter, which is TheGuter. Also, I've made all of the posts, even though I have a private Facebook account, I've made all the posts public on my Facebook. I've also posted a pretty good deal of them on my website, ericgutman.com. There's a whole Quarantunes section right there on the website. As I load them into YouTube, I'm pulling them into the website as well. So yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere.
And along with this, I have one of my, I ran across it. It's one of my favorite shirts. I've now seen it in bumper stickers, but it is artwork is work. Supporting the arts means supporting the artist. And so with that, I want to encourage everybody to support you and give back in some way. How can people do that?
That's very kind. I have a Venmo account. It's Eric-Gutman. And then I have Cash App, which is just my name, Eric Gutman, no hyphen. That's a way to do it. If I could just say something about that real quick, I was very reluctant when I first started asking for virtual tips. It took about 2 weeks before that actually started. And I talked to a lot of other artist friends of mine, and they said, you know what? You are creating. People are enjoying this. There's no harm in asking. And the amount of support has been overwhelming. Like, I got emotional at times as tips were coming in on Venmo or PayPal, or people that I haven't. A friend from elementary school tipped me last night. I've not spoken to her in God knows how long. I mean, it's just profoundly amazing how people can be so helpful in these times. And I will, and whether they tip me or not, I'm going to continue to create the art. But it's very helpful, and it's very much appreciated.
And I mean, it's so unbelievably, true. Like I think that we take for granted the amount of emotional space and actually physical skill and work that goes into creating art. When all of these things started shutting down, and they were saying, well, only essential things need to remain open, and there's that little bit of people are very quick to go, art isn't essential. It isn't essential. We are not saving lives like hospital workers are doing. Yes, we are putting on plays, and we are entertainment. So I understand the difference out there for it. But one of the things that there was an article that was just posted, I think, where people voted on least essential jobs. And like, most people found artists to be the least essential job, which is ironic because they had to hire an artist to make the graphic to say we're the least essential. But, it still comes down to artwork is work. It is. We're binge watching Netflix. All artists. We listen to music all day long. All artists. Yeah. Books that we read, artists. Yeah. It's, artwork is work, and I am in every way that we can. I feel very strongly in supporting artists whenever and however we can. We have to place that importance on people. People.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
No, I remember hearing about a study, I think in Britain, done years ago, where they had an audience in and they monitored their heartbeats. And they found that the audience's heartbeats all started like beating as one. Yeah. When something was moving, or a song, or a sad or a funny part, it rose and fell all together. I mean, when you have that collection of people experiencing those things together, how can you call that not essential? I mean, it's literally our heartbeat, man. I mean,
absolutely. It's absolutely. So bringing it back just one more time to the Quarantunes. I hope you're copywriting that.
Yeah, now I have to.
Now you have to. Patent pending.
I actually was thinking of you know, from Broadway to Obscurity. I've had some success at some fringe festivals in Orlando and Winnipeg over the years. I was supposed to do 2 fringe festivals this year, both of those. But I'm thinking of figuring out, workshopping a new show, like an hour-long Quarantunes show. Nice. Somehow. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice. I think, yes, do it. Like what I don't need to, what permission am I, to like, do it. Create it.
Man.
But there's, I mean, it's absolutely, true. Like that necessity to create, when we don't have that natural expression or that outlet, we have to find different ways to do it. I see my kids that do it. It's the most natural thing for them. When they get bored, they have to go and create something. As soon as we turn off the screen, they get up and they're like, what can I pick up to try and create or imagine or storytell with things? And it's wonderful. Last question, Quarantune.
Yeah.
Favorite one so far? You have one?
Shoot, that's hard. Okay, so I'm really proud of the one I posted last night.
It's a good one.
Just because I just needed to get angry. And so I was happy I posted that. My wife was really skeptical of me posting that last night, but happily she was wrong. God, my favorite one. I'm really proud of, I mashed up December 63, Oh What a Night, with the Beatles' Blackbird.
Ooh.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
I was really proud of that. That took a lot of work. December 63, playing Blackbird while doing it. It was crazy weird, but I was really proud of that one. And I don't even love December 63 that much as a song.
But I love Blackbird. I
love Blackbird. Check that out. That was an interesting one. I was really proud of that one. Oh God. Anything that challenges me as a guitarist, I usually like a bit more. I did a Mumford & Sons song weeks ago that I really like. I did, just like a week or so ago, I did Coldplay's Yellow, but I did it as a Mumford & Sons song as far as like the guitar work, which was super duper hard. So I was really proud of that one. Gosh, man. I mean, even my Milli Vanilli one I'm proud of, just because I made Milli Vanilli one really sound kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I liked your Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, it depends on my mood. So
yeah. I mean, it's a kind of an unfair question. It's kind of like asking what was your favorite play, or
well, obviously it was Ordinary Days.
Yeah. Eric, thank you so much for joining us. What we're going to do right now is we are going to play one of your songs so that people can get a taste of it, and then it's up to you guys to find Eric on YouTube or Facebook and binge watch the rest of him. Support him as an artist. And Eric, I'm looking forward to seeing you in person again back here at the theater very soon.
I would like that very much. Thanks for all you're doing, James. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. You have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, what a night. Late December back in 63. What a very special time for me, as I remember what a night. Oh, what a night. You know we the same? What a lady, what a night. I got a funny feeling when she walked in the room, and as I recall, it ended much too soon. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Hypnotizing, mesmerizing me. She was everything I dreamed she'd be. Sweet surrender, oh, what a night. I felt a rush like a rolling ball of thunder, spinning my head around and taking my body under. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Why'd it take so long to see the light? Seemed so wrong and now it seems so right. What a lady.